Hello, I'm David Mello, Supervisor of Children's Services here at the Fall River Public Library, and today I'm going to show you how to build a castle. And this craft can be picked up at the Fall River Public Library using our curbside service beginning July 6th, and it will be available that entire week. And here's what you'll be picking up right here, this little package. Everything that you need to build one castle is contained right within this little bag. And let's check and see what we've got here. We do have some instructions. And we have the castle itself, or what will be our castle. We have some flags that will go on top of the castle. As you can see, we have a sample right there, how the finished product will look. And the fun part of this project is the colored noodles. Yes, these are noodles. They're like little styrofoam, colorful blocks that we'll be using to build our castle walls. Now, to start out with our castle, you will need a pair of scissors. Now, I suggest you get a pair of safety scissors at home without the point. Maybe you might want to do this yourself. Perhaps you might want to have mom or dad or an older sibling do it for you. But you will take your castle, and on the fold, looking at the front door of the castle, you will see the turrets of the castle right there. That is the only part we want to cut out. So, very carefully, make your cuts like so. And this is going to give it more of a three-dimensional look. And take your time. There is no need to rush on this project. We have plenty of time. And I'm cutting out the area that, if this were an actual castle, this would be where the guards would be standing, keeping an eye out for any fire-breathing dragons that might come by. And once this has been cut out, we now have our silhouette of the castle right here. And at this point, we can begin to color our castle. Now, you can choose any color at all. This is kind of a fantasy castle. You can make it look like a stone wall by using a brown or a gray crayon. I choose to use a blue crayon. But this one right here, I'm going to go with a different color. I think I'm going to make it actually green. Let's see how this looks green. And taking my crayon, I am going to color the entire castle wall. And then perhaps we'll use a different color for that great big doorway in front. Now, I'm doing it a little quickly for this demonstration, but you make sure you take your time and try to stay in the lines. That's the big challenge, staying in the lines. And I try to make sure I cover in every spot, making sure there are no white areas peeking through. There we go. I'm doing this in record time. We have one side already colored in. There we are. Okay. And for the sake of this demonstration, I'm just going to color in the front of the castle, but you're going to want to color both the front and the back, because you see, waiting in the back of the castle, there is a dragon hiding. and he's going to try to get through that front door. So don't forget to turn it around and do that dragon. That's the exciting part of this castle project. Okay, and once I have the wall colored in, I'm going to take a different color to choose a different color for some of the trim. Let's do the door first. I'm going to take a brown crayon for the door. And we want to make it look like a solid, heavy door to protect it from any invaders or any dragons that might happen by. There we go. And let's see, I'm going to take a yellow crayon to color in that big handle on the door. It's probably a big, heavy brass handle to open up that door. There we go. I'm going to take a darker green crayon to do the trim. Yeah, I think that works very nicely. With browns and greens, we have a very earthy looking castle here. And I'll do the trim for the windows as well. And let's see, I'm going to choose another color for the very top of the towers. Let's go with a blue. Ah, that looks nice. That caps it off beautifully. Okay, and I think I'm going to leave the windows the natural color of the paper. And that's a decision you can make on your own. You can color it in if you like, but there's a nice look of light coming through the windows, and I'm going to keep that. And now, we're going to move on to our flags. And like our sample here, I think I'm going to keep with the yellow and the red. I think that looks very dramatic and very exciting. No other place on this castle do we have red showing, and I think it's really going to pop when we finish the project. There we go. And now, let's color in carefully around that fancy design. And once again, I'm going very quickly here for the sake of our demonstration, but you take as long as you want while doing this at home. We want these castles to look really, really nice. We have one flag out of the way, and let's work on that second flag, shall we? Now that design on that flag was almost like an address for this castle. It kind of lets everyone know who is the king there and who is living in that castle. Just like you have your address on your house, and it tells everyone who is there. This is a way of letting people know who is living in that grand castle. And there we have both our flags and we have our castle. But before we attach our flags, this is the really fun part. We are going to move to our colored noodles. And you should have about 12 to 15 of them in your package. And here's what you're going to do. Now we're going to give that stone-walled look to the front of the castle by taking our colored noodles. And at home, you can get yourself either a dampened sponge Or like I did right here, I dampened a paper towel. It's not soaking wet, just enough to hold water. And then I'm going to take that noodle, press it gently into the dampened cloth, dampened towel, and then press it to the front of the castle. And you'll see that with just a slight bit of pressure, you'll get that little noodle to stick right on there. Isn't that cool? These are fun to work with. And then what you're going to do is one after the other, press them into the dampened paper, and then you can just randomly place your noodles throughout the wall of the castle. And it is going to give the impression that it is made of solid stone. And as you can see, I'm choosing different colors and placing them all about. No two colors are close together. There we go, put a red on that side. Maybe we'll put another green one. Oops, maybe down, maybe about over there. And we'll stick a yellow one right between that green, those two green ones right there. And we'll stick a yellow one on this side. We'll try to balance this out as best we can. There's a nice black one right here. Stick that one right there. And you can see I'm just randomly putting them about, spreading the colors to make it look nice and colorful. Stick that one right over there. I'll move that one. There we go. And we have one more brown one. And I think I'll stick that right there. And there we have a mighty castle wall has now been built. And now, to top off this project, we have our flags. And if you open up your castle like so, you will find that there are two little slots already pre-cut at the top of each tower. And just carefully insert your flag into each of those slots, like so. And then, oops, there we go. And then if you have a little bit of tape at home to make those flags stay in place, I would suggest that you put just a little bit of tape in there. Okay, right about so. To keep them nice and steady when you stand it up. Also, if there are some heavy winds, you don't want them to blow away. Heaven forbid, you don't want to go chasing after blown away flags. And there we are, our completed castle craft. And again, you can come to the library, give us a call, and these castles will be made available starting July 6th, and they'll be available for pickup the entire week. Just schedule a pickup time with the Fall River Public Library by calling the Children's Room at 508-324-2700, extension 4. We hope to hear from you. We want to see you building your own fantasy castle.